Hello everyone and welcome to the And More Bus Videos YouTube channel. You join me once again in OMSI 2 The Bus Simulator, where for this video we are sat at Strathshire Park and Ride site in the lovely fictitious Scottish based map Strathshire for a nice video of one of my favourite routes with one bus I drove quite recently, forgot how good it was to drive and have decided to drive it once again. I have actually driven this vehicle on this map before. I drove it, we're going to drive as you will have seen in the title, the 69A, the anti-clockwise circular in this video. However, previously, going back to when the vehicle was first released, I did drive it on the 69C. So what would be quite nice is to drive it on this run, obviously, see how it copes on the sort of other direction of the route, i.e. like the other way around on the circular, see how it copes with that. And also to be able to contrast how it drives and things compared to other vehicles that I've driven on this route more recently off camera. As this is only my second time driving the anti-clockwise 69 service on sort of the YouTube. And I've driven it quite a lot off camera in my own personal time. So let's see how it goes. So we'll give this 5 seconds to warm up. There we go, and we're going to be doing the 69A service that, technically speaking, has left a minute ago. That shouldn't be a problem. Hasn't been a problem in the past. We'll see how we go. I am aware that with this route, you can sometimes get issues with traffic around the hospital, so the traffic levels are low, so that hopefully, unlike when we were in Smarden where we kept having to drive through cars because AI traffic doesn't have reverse in this game and I wasn't able to move and they weren't. Hopefully we'll avoid that. So I am once again using these ZF variants as I have mentioned. There we go, as I have mentioned previously. Oh, there's nobody waiting at all, okay, and we are now 2 minutes late. So, having driven this on Smarden and done that 314 circulars that I again will be driving a bit off camera if I haven't already done that by the time this video releases. But having driven it on there, remember just how nice it sounds, how rapid it is off the mark, and how well it goes on these sort of local circular and inner city urban sort of services. I thought it'd be rude not to take it for another spin. So it was, in fairness, it was between this or the Spectra, and because I've driven the Spectra a little bit off camera recently, I thought I'd save the Spectra for a future video. That and the fact that I have driven it on these circulars quite a lot, and I haven't driven this bus on them for quite a while, so just makes a little bit of a change. Although the Spectra will be featuring in a video at some point soon. So if I remember correctly, the anti-clockwise, I can tell I'm slightly tired, circular goes up to Carmilly first before it comes back down via the hospital. So the last time I drove this on, that was on the And More Central channel, before I moved the series, was part of my Scottish strike bus mini-series that I did. I only did a couple of videos on it. The concept basically behind that was in relation to the Manchester bus strikes, where Go North West drivers had gone on strike and Go North West hired in a load of different operators to cover their services. And I took inspiration from that because we obviously don't have a map based on Manchester to replicate it in Strathshire, and we had some we took a Levante coach on the 28, and we took a Tyra's Dennis Trident on here. The Dennis Trident is definitely a bus I do need to drive again soon. I haven't driven it in so long. I'm also, however, hoping that we do pick up a passenger. That would be nice. Not usually something I'd say like, but I know I'm only, I know I'm a couple of minutes late, but it would still be nice. Now these circular services are incredibly tightly timed, i.e. it's like we will probably arrive back the same, even if we don't pick anybody up, we will arrive back, roughly speaking, a couple of minutes late because we set off a couple of minutes late. It is very, very tightly timed. One of my favourite sort of pastimes previously was to drive these circulars at peak time with peak time traffic, because you would find that with how bad some of the traffic was, especially around the hospital area, roads we've just been down, you'd end up running about 30-40 minutes late and having to miss entire trips with how late it just made you, just queuing in all the traffic, because the traffic was bad down there and it was bad up at Carmilly, and they were the two areas that were the worst. And then if you were doing this anti-clockwise circular, when we go straight down now, the road that we then pop back out of to come back down this road in a bit, that is also really, really prone to queuing. This car is annoying me now. Come on. There we go. Usually go quite fast along that road and managed to get in front of me. So in fairness, I am quite thankful that for sort of obviously doing a video front, I've sort of turned the traffic down, because I know full well that the majority of this video would be spent waiting in traffic otherwise, from previous experience. Must be the bad weather that's put people off today. Must be. And the invisible cars scaring people. I do hope we pick up a person. There are, like, passenger levels are on something on here. As you saw, there was people at Park and Ride, and as I've just checked there, we are actually running to a schedule, albeit we're just minus 4 minutes early now. That is absolutely nothing. Minus 0.4, should I say, not 4 minutes early, we're like half a minute early, because we've not picked anybody up. That does mean we're actually going to get to Carmilly on time. It's not something I'm usually that good at on this run. But although this bus was intended for around London, and I imagine it is quite nice to drive on the 201, I just feel it has a totally different vibe about it when you're sort of flooring it round rural villages and urban, on like town circulars and urban services like housing estate services like this. It has a totally different vibe to it. Really, really is adaptable to this. I'm just going to pull in because I do actually want some people to get on the bus. So we'll bump that up by a minute in the hopes that... Does anybody want to get on the bus? I mean, the blink's there, there's just nobody at any of the bus stops. This is really absurd. Really, really random. I mean, there are people waiting at some bus stops, just nobody wanting this route this time. Very random. We might get some people at the hospital. Either way, it means that we'll get back on time. It's not going to be that much of a lengthy circular, and it means that I can, in fairness, I probably shouldn't use this phrase to describe how I drive in this game, but I can cannonball it round corners. As I say, it's probably not the best descriptor, but permitted, it's just a game, it's okay. Or a simulator. Because it is quite nice to obviously hear the sound of the bus. The Allison, I think it sounds like an Allison box. I mean, it is ZF, but it does also sound like Allison. It gives a little bit of like an old Allison gearbox whistle, definitely. It's just absolutely no one waiting at any bus stops. Usually pick somebody up by now. I mean, we are on time. We're getting a couple of minutes, going on a couple of minutes early because we're just picking nobody up. So I'll adjust the time again. No, nobody there either. That was probably the quickest I've ever got round that section of this route. Now this is the one that usually gets very badly congested. Judging by the fact that I've lowered the level of vehicles and I am now going to slightly increase passenger figures because I think it was because I put like the fraction of passengers at stations to 15%, but even then there should still be, with how many bus stops we serve, we should have had at least one person board at some point. So I've upped it to 54% now. So hopefully we'll get a person on. Either way, it's still very random. But yes, as you can see, this area can get congested quite easily for obvious reasons. And then that turn that the 49 comes down is also very, very bad for congestion. Nobody waiting. Let's see if there's anybody at the hospital. Oh, hang on. Is that a passenger? That is a passenger. Oh, how exciting. There we go. It's taken us the entire loop around Carmilla to gain a passenger. There we go. We've got a person on. Goodness me. Very, very quiet on the circulars today. Again, I've never ever driven them this quiet on this game, so, or on this map, should I say. So it definitely is a different vibe to what I'm used to. It does mean that we're actually going to have to wait some time in the hospital. That's not something I've done before. Yeah, we are. We're 3 minutes early. So yeah, I'll have to wait the time in the hospital because if I wait it before, I won't actually get down the some of the roads. If I wait the time before. Thank you very much. Just wanted to hear the old E200 sound from outside. There are some places you can still hear that kind of vintage E200 sound. It's not as obviously not as common as your more modern enviros now that are a bit more standard. But that sound, I think Stagecoach in Lincolnshire in the East Midlands division still have some older 58 plates. I know they have some more 7 regs, although they are now on the disposals list, despite the fact that they're still out in daily service. But the FJ07s are still out. They sound phenomenal. And the FX08s, 360, 58 and 59, they're also, to me, they're also, I believe from memory, also sound like this. So how many have we got on so far? We've got 3 people. 3 people. Definitely worthwhile this trip. I genuinely thought I'd be running late and we get stuck in traffic, but no, I'm going to arrive back early at the rate we're going at. Why have you parked right across the giveaway? Go. This is the one part of this route I dislike, is coming up here. If this route didn't come up here, I could drive it a lot more often, but I absolutely hate this section of route because it's a pain to get into the road, it's a pain to get out of the road, it's sometimes a pain to get buses parked up on that stop properly, and then you're obviously, when you're going up the road, you're having to dive them out of the way of every single car and van that comes towards you. And it's like, what peeves me even more is most vehicles don't do that, this loop in one go, and the van's just driven through me. So if it wasn't for this section, this little bit that we go up this road, we just went straight into the main hospital, I'd be happy with it. It's just this one section that's just so irritating. So let's just... Can we get through that gap? Yes, we can. And then let's get this. Is anybody wanting the stop? No, let's just check how early we are. We're about 4 minutes early, so let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. Boom, so we're now only 0.4 minutes early. There's still nobody waiting. So let's make a move. I don't fancy waiting the 4 minutes. Especially in this weather at the moment that is presenting us in OMSI. Because they've just put it on real weather. Currently, at the time of filming, Edinburgh must be looking pretty miserable. Because that's where I've based it off for this time. Sometimes what I do with real weather is, if like a couple of places, or my base place, it's usually like Manchester or something for local geography. If a base location like that is rainy and miserable, I sometimes like to pick a location that's cloudy, or the weather's doing something that isn't just chucking it down, or isn't just clear. Because if it's just clear, it's just chucking it down. I like the cloudy weather. I like the more average weather that you get, not just raining all the time or clear skies all the time. So that's why you'll notice I do usually have real weather on, because for me it just makes that difference. That actually looks like a decent screenshot. Just looked and thought, well, yeah, actually looks alright, does that? And that one does. Now let's see, are these lights green? Yes, they are. I thought they were. Perfect. That doesn't happen that often, but it's nice when it does, because I don't like sitting at those lights because they are far away. That basically means instead of them changing, both directions changing together, they all change separately. So you can be sat at them for absolutely ages. So there we go, pretty much as quick as we left here, we have arrived back. Not much else to say apart from what will have been one of the quietest um, runs on these 69 A and C circulars I've ever done. Probably the quietest and the quickest. Yeah, goodness me. We did that very, very quickly. So yeah, that was the 69A anti-clockwise circular from Strathdown Park and Ride round to Carmilly and the hospital. Part of sort of the Strathshire map. A very, very nice and fictitious Scottish-based map, like loosely based on Dundee with the Explore Strathshire concept around it. And it is a free map. So it is worth downloading. It is available off the Fellas Film forums. The bus itself, as I have previously mentioned, is part of the pack of vehicles that come with the add-on London map that is available on Steam to purchase. It's a nice map as add-on London. You'll have seen in my previous videos and you'll see in upcoming videos. And there's quite a lot of mods surrounding it as well now. So if you are someone that even has a little bit of an interest in London or driving vehicles like this lovely one, it is worth getting. For now, though, I really hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have done, do be sure to click that like button so that more people can find it and enjoy like you have. And if you haven't already, do be sure to subscribe to the And More Bus Videos YouTube channel for more content like this from the simulation section, sort of OMSI 2, and other transport simulator games. And with videos now releasing twice a week throughout January on Thursdays and Sundays. So don't go anywhere if you do enjoy this kind of content, and be sure to subscribe so you don't miss it, as well as subscribing for an archive of over 4,500 backseated engine-focused public transport videos from around the UK and beyond from the past and present, including many vehicles such as older E200s that sound just like this one, like the Stagecoach East Midlands one I went on in Lincoln. So you can go and find those in the archives, all easy to find with the playlists. And again, for more real-life bus industry content that focuses on the industry a bit more, and for those interested in it, do go and check out my main channel and More Central for more content from the real-life bus and sort of, as well as other parts of the public transport industry from the UK and beyond. Once again, though, I would like to thank you all for watching. I really hope you've enjoyed this one, and I will see you all in the next video I make. Goodbye for now. Bye.